that song. So good. Hi! Holy crap, you guys. Episode 1. Welcome to Travel Nerds, the podcast. I'm your host, Ann Waterman, and we're going to be talking about all things travel. Literally anything related to travel. So if you have any topics of things you want to hear about, feel free to let me know. And I'm just so excited to be here, to be behind the mic, hanging out with you guys. I mean, my excitement level is at an aggressive 10, and we're just going to put out a ton of episodes, and I want you guys to learn stuff with me. I'm not a travel expert. I love to travel, but I've been screwed out of flights. I've paid way too much for my bags. All the things. I want you guys to be able to take the dream vacation you've always wanted without breaking the bank. And I want traveling to be more efficient for all of us from this podcast. So just to give you a little preview of what to expect, I'll be joined by experts all over the travel industry sharing their experience, reviews, and enlightening us with pro tips. But this podcast is really for anybody just wanting to learn more about traveling the globe. We're going to have on interesting guests to share advice and tell stories and deep dives on topics most people are unsure about, and of course goofy segments in between. If you know me, I'm a goon, and if you don't know me, you'll figure that out really quickly. I've moved around a ton my whole life, different cities, countries, houses, and I've been to a handful of different schools because I keep getting kicked out. No, I'm just kidding. Who do you guys think I am? Seriously. My dad worked at a news station, and he was a manager, so when the ratings got up, we'd leave again and go somewhere else. But I was always having to figure things out, not necessarily on my own, but it feels that way regardless. Just like navigating through this social bureaucracy of what is high school. But it was really fun for me. I liked being the new girl. I liked moving around. Change is good. And from that constant unfamiliarity came this awesome curiosity that I have now and ability to thrive in those environments. And I appreciate my parents for that. I don't think that was their intention. But because I moved a million times, I can basically talk to a brick wall and feel like I had an interesting conversation. So podcasting will be very fun. This is an adventure for all of us. We'll also cover like how these tips and tricks that you're going to learn can be applied to your life or your business. And there's really never been a more interesting time to be in travel in this weird post-COVID world where people are kind of forced outside, like homebodies either thrived in COVID or now they want to travel to Southeast Asia. There's no in between. I'm really, really excited to interview both kinds of people who are super interested in traveling, for a girls' trip or traveling solo, or people who never have traveled in their lives and maybe we can gift them a trip somewhere awesome. We have the ability to do that as a travel company. So that's pretty lucky too. And also, teasing this, we are going to be doing a free flight giveaway sometime in the super, super near future. So follow all of our stuff and you'll be able to find it there. And you can enter and win a flight anywhere for 2, which is nuts. But I'll talk about that later. I just want to learn about how the industry is evolving. You or the collective we, for that matter, are the travel industry. And after 2 long years, I think we all deserve a big, big fat vacation. So things like, have you ever wondered how a billionaire vacations? We're going to break that down. And if you know any billionaires, give them my number because I got to find one. Do you know how to make money while traveling? Because that's possible. We're going to talk about that. It's all coming to you. We're going to record every Wednesday and see what happens. Off the jump, we might go every other week, unless you guys are just begging for more travel information, and then we'll go every single week. But come find us on social media. If you have a question or a travel story you want to share, follow at Travel Nerds Pod on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. YouTube channel at Travel Nerds. And let's get into the episode. Okay, you guys, I want to introduce you to a pretty important part of the podcast here. This is my team. We got Kenny, Diana, and Nathaniel. If you guys just want to explain in like a little blurb what you guys do for the pod, go for it.
I am Kenny. I take care of a lot of the background research and help with the structure of the show. So my goal is to help everyone sound smart and well-researched.
That's awesome. I'm Diana Rex, and I help out with graphics, motion design, graphic design, and general high-fivery.
I'm Nathaniel. I help out with editing and producing, and when things break, I get frantic calls, and then I pretend I know what I'm doing and help get them fixed.
Totally crucial. So as far as traveling goes, let's just get a couple easy questions off the bat handled. Kenny, where's like the best location, destination, vacation you've ever been on?
I'm going to take the easy road here, and I'm going Maui in Hawaii. It has basically everything that you want, from amazing food, the beaches. If you want to do crazy hikes, you could do crazy hikes. If you want to
I don't want to do crazy hikes.
If you want to watch sunrise from the top of a mountain over the clouds, Haleakala is your bet. And then, of course, I'm an avid golfer, and you could play some of the world's coolest golf courses in Hawaii as well. So I'm going to take the easy path and go Hawaii.
They're like cliff courses, right?
There's some that are cliffs. There's some that like weave through jungles. I've only played 2 in Maui, and they were both stunning and awesome and hilly, very different than what you have here in Florida. So yeah, Maui is it kind of has everything that you need.
I can't hit a golf ball like actually down the fairway, but in this case, like hitting it into the ocean and hitting it into the rainforest is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not beginner-friendly golf.
I might enjoy that. Diana, you have a place in mind?
Yeah, sure. All right, let's do England / specifically London. It's like a cleaner New York, so why wouldn't you want to go there? Except when you like walk into the phone booths, those are like the only surprising part. They have some hidden treasures that you may or may not like. But everything else there is really beautiful. It's fun to go to different districts. Like there's the British Museum, lots of different places like that. And it's a lot colder than where I live, which is Florida. So I kind of like that too.
What's the weirdest thing you found in a phone booth?
I don't think I could say that on the podcast. It's
Oh, wait, we don't want to get like a bad rating right off the bat.
Right, that sort of thing, yes. So it was just surprising for so I grew up I went to a private college and I did a study abroad there. So we went in there to take the cutesy photos, and like me and my Christian friends are like, oh my gosh, like that's not what we thought it would be in this phone booth. Anyways.
And what was actually in the phone booth was bleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Nathaniel, you got a trip in mind?
Yeah, I'll stay domestic for all the simpletons like me. But I gotta go. Glacier National Park in Montana is one of the prettiest places I've ever been, and the whole Flathead Valley, like all the area surrounding. If you get into Whitefish, Montana is a gorgeous ski town, and it's only about an hour away from Glacier, but it is by far one of the most beautiful places. It's borderline Canada because half of the park is in Canada. So you're really starting to get into the kinds of mountains that you would see way up north. And there's a lot of roads you can drive through if you don't want to hike. But then obviously all throughout the park, there's tons of places where you can hike around these huge lakes and between these massive mountains. And yeah, that's probably one of my favorite places. I've been there 3 times now, and I'm waiting for my 4th.
Did you see a moose?
I did. I saw many moose.
Mooses. Meese? What is it?
Mice?
Many much moosin'.
I don't think it's mice. That one I
Feel confident about that.
I feel like every time I hear about Whitefish, Montana, it's like fly fishers paradise.
Yeah. I'm not a good enough. I love fishing, but I'm not quite patient or good enough for fly fishing yet. But it is, yeah, it's amazing. Anything you want to do outdoors, that's the place to do it.
Connor, do you have a favorite spot?
Oh, yeah. In the States, I could cheat and pick what you said, Hawaii. That was just absolutely insane, and I would love to live there one day. That's the goal. Just to be able to, like, you know, stop along the road at a tiny little trailer, and then you get the best, like, fish and poke bowl and whatever you want of your life. Like, that was insane. Spending $12 and then getting the freshest fish I've ever had, and they were like, oh yeah, we caught it on that beach an hour ago. That was just so cool. I love the lifestyle of the people there too. They're just everyone was like super casual and super nice to us and like wanted us to be there and wanted us to love it. I loved that. And then internationally, Italy, because I was just like shoving gelato and pasta and pizza in my face the whole time, but it wasn't having the same effect that would in America because everything's so fresh. It was like, that was insane. So yeah, dreamy. I plan to die in Italy. Not, you know, much later in life.
After Hawaii.
Yeah. Okay, I was thinking we could do a little bit of a travel questionnaire. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Okay, it's just going to be random, rapid fire travel questions, and we'll see who who knows their global travel knowledge the best. Okay, here we go. Question 1. Anyone can answer. You know, there are no rules. Okay.
Free for all.
And we might not know some of them because I feel like some of these are really hard, so we'll see. Okay, which is the only U.S. state to have a one-syllable name?
Oh God, this is a lot of dead air.
Actually, I probably shouldn't do this quiz because it's hard. It's Maine.
Oh.
Everyone's like, that's stupid.
I was like,
if I would have started, in the Northeast and worked across, I would have gotten it so much sooner. I was just picking states and naming them.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too.
But these are hard.
They're like rapid fire, and the first question, it's like delightful, like 10-second dead air for the podcast. Great.
Oh, it's fine. That's what cricket noises are for.
I was like going through the pronunciation. I was like, Utah. No, that's one.
I started with Utah too.
No way.
Utah?
Yeah.
No,
I started with Utah.
That's a fair guess.
Because it's short. I was like, oh, what's the shortest? And then I went Utah. And then, like Nathaniel, I started working around Utah.
Oh.
And then I end up on the wrong side of the United States when I should be up in the Northeast.
I did the same thing, but from Texas and then kind of in an arch around Texas.
I went in a circle around you. Me and Diana were like playing, what's that old game that we used to play when you were kids? Oregon Trail. I was like doing the Oregon Trail
my God,
around.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the best part of the day at school. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And then it's at lunch, you're like literally talking about how many people you had in your caravan. Like, you're stupid.
Dysentery. You get dysentery.
Okay. You ready? Second question.
All right.
What is the capital of Norway?
Oslo.
Nice.
I was
dated a
thinking of
Norwegian.
Sweden.
I dated a Norwegian.
Norwegian filmmaker.
Hey, that helps. Okay. What continent is Portugal located in?
Spain.
Europe.
Oh,
Continent.
continent.
Okay, what's
Kenny
the
got it.
capital of Australia?
Sydney.
Brisbane. I don't want to answer because I'm going to have the wrong answer for everything. I should know this.
Called Canberra.
Oh, Canberra. That's a made-up place.
Canberra. You're like, that's not even real. You're
Are
making
kangaroos real? God.
Okay, in which U.S. state can you find the Grand Canyon?
Ooh, in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is
You
that
said
the
it
only
like
place
you
though?
weren't sure.
Well, because can't you get to the Grand Canyon in other states?
I think it's only in Arizona, but now I have to Google it to fact check myself.
One of the producers on the call will have to fact check that one.
Check.
Yeah, it's in northern Arizona, Grand Canyon National Park.
Sounds legit.
Okay.
Is it close to Four
Real?
Corners? Oh, no, it's nowhere near that. Never mind. Four Corners is in 4 states. Fun fact. I know that one.
Utah.
Okay. We all know this one. This
right.
one I feel like you guys will get. What is the longest river in the world?
The Mississippi.
No, the Nile.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nile. Oh
If
my
you-
gosh. The Mississippi. People overseas are
It's
like,
the first long river I thought of.
I was
these
thinking of
guys.
Euphrates.
I was going with the Amazon, but then I was like, it has to be. I've been watching so many like Egyptian conspiracy theories lately that it was just like top of mind.
I just recently
Good.
watched Death in the Nile, the new one, and so that's the only reason
Whoa.
by the way, it was terrible. I'm saying that openly to the public. I hated that movie. Such a bummer.
Well, we're never going to get Gail Godot on the pod, I guess. So
Wait, stop. To clarify, Gail, I love you, but that movie was not it.
So if you're saying
Okay.
if you like that movie, you're in denial.
You're in
ta-da.
denial. She's good. Diana, everybody. Okay. What is the smallest country in the world by landmass?
The Vatican.
Yes!
Oh.
I think someone will know it. That was good. That was
They
good.
barely count. Unbelievable.
That's why
I
they
got a true
count.
false. I got a true false. Antarctica is a desert. True or false?
True.
True.
Yeah, it had to be true just based off of how I asked it, right? Who has more pyramids, Egypt or Sudan?
Sudan.
I'll go Sudan too because it seems like a non-obvious answer.
Yeah,
I'll go,
'cause you
I'll
wanna
go with
say
Egypt so that someone says Egypt, and I've already been wrong enough times.
To clarify, just because I'm asking the questions doesn't mean I would have been on the other end answering them correctly. The dish poutine belongs to which country?
Canada.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Are you Canadian, Diana?
No.
That was really fast for not being Canadian.
For my Canadian friend listening, hello, I remember all your fun facts.
Okay, stinky tofu is the national dish of which country?
Not
Stinky
Japan.
tofu. That's what they call it.
Japan?
Nathaniel, you got a guess?
Cambodia.
Thailand?
Taiwan! I thought you had it for a hot second there.
Oh, wow.
Okay, what is Scotland's national animal?
Kenny, it's all you.
Oh, I was just in Scotland at St. Andrews. I'm trying to think of all the animals that I saw. I'm going to go the
your
national
hint.
animal.
Golden Retriever.
Unicorn?
Yeah, was this a unicorn?
It's a literal unicorn. Scotland's
shoot.
national animal is a unicorn.
Leave it to Scotland to pick a fake animal as its national animal. That's insane.
Okay, actually, unicorns were real, but they were narwhals. But they thought they were unicorns because their horns would wash up on the ocean, and then like old witches would like grind up the horns and be like, "Oh, it came from a magical horse." And
No way.
yeah, they would try to heal people that way.
Why
So-
did they associate it to a horse, though? How did that happen?
I haven't read that chapter yet, but
Wait, this is a book that you like purchased?
yeah,
You're
it's like
you-
the. It's a history. It's like there's this British Museum collection of Harry Potter artifacts, and it's all about like what inspired the movie. And so one of them was like a chapter on witches and unicorns and mythical creatures. So,
Huh.
but I stopped halfway through the chapter.
Love that. We are getting you on the pod to hear more mythical
To be fair,
backstories.
if I had never seen a narwhal and I found a horn on the beach, my first thought would not be this came from an ocean blob. My first thought would be like maybe a horse. I don't know.
I feel like you could attach it to any animal if it didn't connect to a horse in the first place. I don't know. Okay. The Canadian flag has which icon on it?
Maple leaf.
Leaf.
Yes, you guys. That was quick.
More Canadian questions.
Yeah, keep
I
this
know.
Canada. Canadians are so
Okay.
nice. Let's like honor them with some more questions.
They are nice. That's the dream. I want to go to Vancouver.
Ooh, I've been to Vancouver.
What'd you think?
It was amazing. It's,
Aw.
I mean, yeah. To be fair, we went from Oregon/Seattle to Vancouver, and we got all rain when we were in Seattle and Oregon, and then it turned perfect when we got to Vancouver. So I don't know what that means, but oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. Just driving to Vancouver was like, I'm happy. I can stop now.
Oh,
You can like see a whale from the interstate when you're like, or I don't know if they call it an interstate, but right when you drive onto the island, like people are just kayaking and there's just whales.
Yeah.
It's
We
crazy.
found random people. There were random people rock climbing along the coast, and they're like, "Hey, you want to jump in?" And we're like, "Okay." And then we jumped off a cliff. And that was cold because it was like April, so borderline icy. But you got to do it.
Wow.
You gotta do it.
Speaking
And you
of
didn't eat
cliffs,
poutine while you were there? What the heck?
Sorry, I prioritized the wrong things.
Whales.
speaking of cliffs, have you guys seen this TikTok video where the guy is rock climbing and the bear comes to attack him and he punches the bear and then the bear falls down the cliff and then the bear comes back up and this guy's rock climbing in the middle of fighting a bear.
No,
All right.
That in the show
It's
notes.
a TikTok video?
We're
Hang
putting
on.
it in the show notes, and
Wow.
when this goes to YouTube, we'll put it out like over top of it. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. This guy literally was punching and kicking a bear while hanging off the side of a mountain, and somehow it's being filmed.
now
How do you
this
even like prepare for a moment like that
It's amazing.
in your life?
this isn't
insane.
like when the bear chased the guy on the bicycle, right? This is like a real video.
Same
I
thing.
think this is real. If this is one of those AI made the video things that will be coming out in the next few years, I'm going to be so pissed. But yeah, it's on all accounts, this is a real video. We'll definitely get it in the show. It's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Okay. In the forests of Northern California, it is home to which giant tree?
Sequoia.
Redwood.
Sequoia.
Oh.
Yes, redwood.
Oh.
Redwood.
Oops, we were not confident.
Oh, here's a good one. In which city would you be visiting if you were at Universal Resort?
Orlando.
Orlando.
Nice, guys. Nice.
I'll be there tonight. Come hang out.
At Universal?
Yep.
Oh, that's fun.
Horror Nights?
What do you...
Oh, I need to pronounce that better. Horror Nights, not the other one. Sorry.
It is Halloween Horror Nights, not Horror Nights, everyone.
No. We're going because it was my wife's birthday on Sunday, and so this
Aw.
week we're taking a couple extra trips since we're busy on Sundays. So tonight we'll get a little butter
Nice.
beer, hit up a couple bars in the park, and then eat on our way out.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, get the hot butterbeer. That's the best one.
I haven't tried it yet, but it might actually be cold enough soon.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about that.
You're like,
Yeah.
happy birthday, babe. I'm just going to pay for you to get the shit scared out of you for a few hours. Love you.
Yeah. Enjoy.
That's a great gift, though. I love that. I love, like, giving an experience as a gift, because then I get to enjoy it, too. Selfish.
hack.
That sounded more selfish out of my mouth than I thought it would.
It's a life hack.
Okay.
Yeah.
In which city is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame located?
Columbus?
Close. Very close.
Canton,
Utah.
Ohio.
Freakishly close.
Canton?
In which city? Utah.
Utah. California.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio.
You
I
were
knew
there.
it was somewhere in Ohio.
I don't know that Ohio exists, so I'll have to fact check that.
Just like Australia's capital, we have no idea.
Yeah.
Jill don't know how to
Honestly,
say
that
it.
was an obscure question to ask a bunch of Americans. You guys are like, what? Sydney? Yeah, I wouldn't have known that either. Okay. In which state would you be if you were watching ice cream being produced at the headquarters of Ben &
Wisconsin?
Jerry's?
Vermont.
Oh.
Vermont.
Whoa.
That was quick. You knew that ASAP.
I knew it in the beginning of you saying ice cream. I was like,
Ice cream.
I was
ice cream,
hoping,
and I was on.
I was
Have you been
hoping
there?
you were going to ask about Turkey Hill, which you weren't going to, but that was the only one I would have known.
If you said
the hell is
Bluebell,
that?
that's Texas.
What, Turkey Hill? Turkey Hill is a
Yeah.
massive dairy in Pennsylvania. Lancaster area specifically is where they started. So they are now they're not just a dairy. It's weird. They're a dairy and a gas station, which is actually a thing that combines a lot in southeastern Pennsylvania, where you have lots of dairy farms. Because we've also got Oregon Hill is a big dairy/grocery store. There's one other one that's a gas station and also a dairy. So It's a strange combination, I know, but they're great. Amazing ice cream.
Isn't Pennsylvania where Wawa comes from?
Yes, I think Wawa originated there. Here's a hot take that most people disagree with, but I was a big Sheetz fan. We have Sheetz up in the Northeast, and it's kind of similar to Wawa, but more of like, grab and go food. They got burgers and fries and all that. Although now Wawa's starting to catch up. They added burgers to their options, so
I was not impressed with
that.
burger.
Was like my favorite place to eat in college was Wawa.
Their cream cheese pretzels are good.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, I used to get mac and cheese with chicken tenders on top, and then I'd ask them to put barbecue sauce on top of that. So that explains everything.
Mm-hmm. I would do the same thing, but with the boom boom sauce.
I'd have to be a little drunky to order that now, but it probably tastes just as good as I remember. Okay, where are the Whitsunday Islands located? I can give you options if you need them.
Yes.
Okay, Vietnam, the Philippines, or Australia?
Go Australia.
That would have been
you guys. We're getting better with our Australian answers. Which of these countries isn't landlocked? Nepal, Turkey, Armenia, Austria.
Turkey?
Is
Turkey.
landlocked.
Is it landlocked? Yeah, Turkey hits the Mediterranean.
Yep, you're right.
Oh, nice. Well done, team. We all got it right.
Well done. The Baltic states refers to which countries?
Oh, God. I mean, most
Latvia,
Americans can't even name 5 states.
Estonia. Is there another
stop.
one?
You're killing it. Keep going. Oh, wait, no. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Are you kidding me right now?
Oh, my God. He has Google up. This guy,
I know.
he's an engineer.
Are you
He's too fast. When you answer, you have to show your hands now.
Yeah, you're cheating. You cheater.
It's one of the only obscure geography facts I remember from high school. I don't know why.
I would have never known that. You really nailed that. Okay, what is the capital of Spain?
Madrid.
How many official countries are there in the world?
More than
216.
What?
It's 195, but now I'm feeling like maybe it got updated or something.
There's more countries being birthed into the
yeah,
world.
they're just being
Let me
added
fact check
as time
for you.
goes on.
How many countries? My hands are down, so I'm Googling. 195. Yep.
All right. How many are we going to hit on the Travel Nerds pod?
Honestly,
unofficial. Oh, God.
I think actually, so technically it's 193 depending on how you're counting.
Because there's 2 countries that are non-members or not observed, correct?
Yeah,
What
would be the Vatican and Palestine.
Oh, Palestine? Wow.
And then there's a lot of partially recognized countries. So
What does that even mean?
or contested countries, places like Kosovo or
Texas?
yeah. I guess you could add Texas to that list.
Yeah, because there's
one of the wildest countries I've ever been to is Texas.
totally. Yeah, because there are some countries in the world where there's areas that are not controlled by the federal government, right? So this happens in the Middle East in certain places. This happens in Africa in some places where there's like whole parts of the country that they're like, we don't really have control here, nor do we maybe want control here. So it's its own place. So I guess that's where my inflated number got. I don't know why I thought 216. That's like way off though. I mean,
it's not that far off. Yeah, you said it really like so sure that I was like, that's got to be right. The internet's
That's an
wrong.
answer to
Kenny's
something.
Right.
Somewhere there's an answer. Maybe in the rest of this quiz where the answer is 216. I'm sure of it.
do you see how dangerous someone who answers stuff with confidence is?
Yeah.
1,000%. And
It's
everybody
not
listening, just know one day, maybe on episode 234, we're going to figure out how to do a fact check at the end so we don't teach you anything wrong.
By the way, my answer was more than 7 countries.
More More than 7.
That's-
I can confirm.
This is the safe answer.
Accurate.
Hey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. What is the least densely populated country in the world?
Greenland?
Australia.
Iceland.
Mongolia.
Mongolia.
Oh.
What?
Which
Wow.
kind of makes sense, like, if you think about
Yeah.
how much of that is just Arctic,
How?
crazy wasteland.
And
It's true.
Iceland and Greenland.
Yeah, actually.
I was betting on the land mass of Australia really spreading out that average.
What's so crazy is that the population of, like, the state of New York is in the entire continent of Australia. So it's like everybody lives roughly 200 miles from the water, and then the whole inside of the country is just farmland. It's crazy. It's like totally not populated at all.
25.69 million people live in Australia as of 2020.
But how many spiders?
Spiders, 1 billion.
Okay.
Yeah, they're running rampant. You can be like walking home from the grocery store all casual like and see a spider the size of your head just like walking next to you on the sidewalk. He's like,
No, ma'am.
that's terrifying.
So speaking of like spiders, I'll hijack the trivia and ask some questions of my own now. This is not travel related, but it makes for excellent dinner conversation.
Oh,
All right. I want you to estimate how many cows are in the world.
Oh my god.
Cows, yeah.
I want to say like 1 billion cows, but there's no way.
Diana? Nathaniel?
200,843.
219 million.
Connor Ann was right. There's about 1 billion cows.
What?
What?
Yes.
So many
A billion
cows.
cows. A billion
way.
cows. All right,
I'm
now.
shocked about that, and also that I was right, but more about the cows.
All right, so now let's turn to chickens. How many chickens are in
Okay.
the world?
Oh my god.
3 terabytes.
More.
2.19 billion.
2 point.
No,
Anyone
don't
else?
answer. Don't answer.
If you're about to tell me there's
less
more cows than chickens,
cows.
yeah, I don't know if I can handle that.
There's got to be more chickens.
1.5 billion chickies.
So you're taking the
3.
chickens over the cows. Diana's going up to 3 billion. 3 billion. Do I have 5 billion? Do I have 5 billion? 6 billion. All right, so I'm going to
6
blow.
billion!
All right. I'm going to blow your mind here. There's 26 billion chickens.
Oh my gosh. So I would have been closer if I went with like 21.9 versus 2.19.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
doesn't even make sense.
Well, have
So
you
many-
been to some of the islands and like everywhere you go, there's just chickens like walking
yeah.
around here like.
I was going
True.
to say, walking around Cambodia, there's more chickens than people everywhere. It is
Yeah.
insane.
And
26 billion? Is that what you just said?
26 billion, and 1 of 5 chickens live in mainland China.
Checks out.
What?
Yeah,
Checks out.
checks out.
Yeah.
All right,
That is
last thing that appears on your dinner plate from time to time. How many pigs are in the world?
Are we counting wild boar as pigs?
Oh
Sure.
my gosh. What?
Yeah.
my gosh.
Pig is a pig, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 15 Billy.
15 billion. Oh, you're going. The pigs are. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of pigs. Okay, go ahead, Nathaniel, Diana.
I'm
Now
going to
you
go
guys know
back.
that's too much.
I'm going to go back to 2.19 billion.
2.1
I think it's got to be
billion.
more than cows based on their reproductive rate.
That's what I was thinking.
That's fair. Their gestation period included. All right. I'll go.
We're getting scientific here.
I know.
I'm going to go for 2.2. Sorry, Nathaniel. Just like the Price is Right
Are
rules.
we counting over under?
Yeah, that was dirty, Diana. That's like not playing nice.
Dirty Diana.
Hey.
That's your new producer name.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. That's a no for me. All right, so pigs About 677 million pigs.
Oh, okay.
So
Nathaniel
less
wins.
pigs than cows.
Oh, wait. Connor, what did you
Okay,
say?
hold on.
You said over.
So it's under a billion. It's about 670 million, and 2 out of every 3 pigs is based in China.
You gotta keep those chickens company.
Yeah, those chickens need friends.
Can you imagine the TikToks that come from like rural China with like chickens riding alongside, like on top of like taming the.
Now see, fast forward
Life
like 50
in the day
years.
of a chicken.
Fast forward 50 years, and I'm pretty sure the wild pigs in Texas will increase that number enough to overtake the cows. That's what I'm betting on.
Wow. Okay. Get your
Wild
lottery
boars
ticket today.
are terrible. They are
Oh my gosh.
absolute menaces to society. So let's
Can't
hope.
kill them either. They're really
It's-
gamey,
Eat all
apparently.
the hot dogs
Yeah.
you possibly can, you guys. We need to get rid of them. We need
It's-
to tame the wild boar. Just kidding. That's not what you're eating. What is that? Like what would that be? Like a bratwurst? I don't know.
Are you guys
There's
hot
not a
dogs
lot
fans?
of great ways.
Do you guys
Can you
eat
guys
hot
see
dogs?
Kenny or no?
Okay,
I
so
can't
hot
see
dogs.
him.
I've never been a huge hot dog fan until just
There you are.
recently.
Ooh.
There is a nice local butcher shop that's like 5 minutes up the road from us, and they make their own hot dogs fresh. And it is the first time I've like craved a hot dog in my life. They are so
Whoa.
good. Nice, like long hot dogs. They're not like the dinky little kind, but they're not like the foot long where it's like, okay, this is just comical. And oh my gosh, I think it's because they use actual meat in their hot dogs. I think that might be the trick.
Mhm.
But oh my gosh, they're so good. Those are the only hot dogs that I ever like really feel the need to eat.
What's the name of it? You could give them a shout out on
Yeah,
the
shout out.
perfect hot dog.
Shout out to Morganic Meats. Because they're Morris Family Farms and they're organic. Morganic Meats in Lake Mary, Florida. Hit them up. Oh my gosh. They have the best hot dogs. Also highly recommend their burgers. They make like cheese stuffed burgers. They make
Ooh.
I'm going to go on a side tangent now because you've got me on food. They make these things called armadillo eggs. That's like it's like a cheese stuffed pepper wrapped in bacon, wrapped in burger meat, wrapped in bacon again. And
Turducken style?
oh my,
Oh.
yeah,
Wow.
kind of. If you're lucky, they also have Cheeto balls, which is like alternating between like cheese and meat and cheddar dust.
Oh,
so
cheddar
good.
dust.
I spend a lot of time here, if you couldn't tell.
Your Yelp review is like, the hot dogs aren't too short, but they're not too long.
Yeah.
They're not 6 inches, but they're not 12 inches. The perfect hot dog is
See?
9 inches.
You can tell that this is a family recipe where they have had time to perfect the hot dog length.
The length.
See, you
The
guys are
length, not
talking
even the recipe, but the length.
Recipe too, but like
the length. No, you have to optimize for the length.
yeah,
Totally.
the experience of eating the hot dog plays into the flavor of the hot dog.
I get it.
I do
See-
get that, yeah. You have like
Psychology.
1-2 like bonus bites
Yeah,
from a normal dog.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel that.
If you're eating
intro
with
and
your
the
eyes
outro.
closed.
See, you guys are stuck on hot dogs, and I just Googled how many spiders that there are in the world.
Oh.
And it's such a terrifying number. I won't even make you guess because
A trillion.
No. It's a trillion multiplied by like a million. So
Disgusting.
here is the stat. There are, for every one human being, there are 2.8 million spiders. That is my wife's nightmare.
Oh no.
What?
How many in Australia,
no.
though? Send the rest over there, too.
That's how Australia was made in the first place.
Spider capital of the world.
Just ship things over there, and they're on an island of their own.
See, I thought you were going for
my
Halloween facts, not table food turned spider facts.
Yeah, I don't know how I got to table food to spiders. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe in some parts of the world, but
Oh, no.
This is
yeah.
our hot dog spider tangent. I feel like that is the scariest fact I've actually ever heard. That is 2 million per one person, and they say you eat 8 in your sleep once, or 8 a year.
You gotta bring those numbers down
crawl
somehow.
into your mouth.
But who here has intentionally eaten a spider? Raise your hand.
Wait,
No
do
one?
crustaceans like
Just
lobsters
me?
count?
No,
That's
lobsters don't
cheating.
count.
No.
So see,
Wait,
spider.
why did you eat a spider? Was
Yeah.
it delicious? Did you put condiments on it?
It was because we were in Cambodia and we are like, when else is someone going to offer you a fried tarantula? And so we tried. Now, we did cheat a little because we went fried. So really
No,
it just
that's
tasted like fried.
Above and beyond.
That
Okay.
was, I had a tarantula leg. It was a little hairy, got stuck in my teeth,
Oh,
but it just
all the
tasted...
viewers drop.
And there goes anybody that was hanging out with us.
Sorry. It was really just
You
a
said
crunchy
it was
fried.
hairy, and it really messed with
Sorry.
the vibe we created here.
All right. Cut that fact.
I'm not cutting it. Everyone will know that you eat hairy tarantula legs now.
I don't eat hairy tarantula legs. I have eaten a hairy tarantula leg. I really want to differentiate
How long
there.
was it? Was it 6 micrometers?
Was it 6 inches or 9 inches or 12 inches? I mean,
What's the right length for the leg here?
It was about an inch long. It was like a sampler size leg. I don't
That's
know.
an inch too
No,
long.
no! Costco spider leg sample size.
Costco.
The little white
can I get
cup.
that in a paper cup?
Oh, send it to Maury. What she called it? Meats. Moro meats.
Organic.
Organic.
You
They'll
guys
make
should
it-
really sell tarantula legs here. I feel like that's a
Okay.
niche.
Actually, another fun fact, bug related: 80% of the world gets protein from bugs. So, yeah, I saw it on Shark Tank. That's why they make
remember,
cricket
like,
flour.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie was getting people were giving her a hard time because she was saying that she eats bugs and she feeds them to her kids because it's a lot of protein and the rest of the world does
Spider steak.
Spider.
Mom, what's for dinner tonight? Tarantula legs, hairy, extra hairy.
Oh.
Gross. Okay,
Best
you guys.
tangent.
I'm just gonna ask like a handful of more questions, and then we good.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Okay, which city? Oh wait, no, you guys won't know that.
Whoa! Hey, Nathaniel, might. He's
I was
eating
gonna say
spiders.
which city has more cars than it does people. I wouldn't have known that. San
Texas.
Marino, Italy. Who
Oh,
knows
right.
that?
That's a whiff.
I've heard that fact somewhere, but I would have never retained it.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
San Marino.
Okay. Oh, which U.S. university was the sports drink Gatorade named after?
The Florida
University
Gator
of Florida.
place. Yeah.
But did you know that until just now? I would have never thought that.
Yeah.
True.
I did not. As a not Florida native, I did not know that.
Anyone that goes to UF always brags about weird stuff like this. So if you have friends from UF, you just know random nice things that UF has done.
I'm just shook that they don't have an actual Gator on Gatorade bottles. And if they did, that was like a huge miss, like to take it off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Gatorade.
It does feel like a miss. Yeah, that's on them.
That's on them.
Well, I mean, maybe for international markets, because I have a friend from Ukraine that is looking to move to Florida, and she keeps watching Russian videos about living in Florida, and she asked me, are there giant alligators walking around terrifying people? And I was like, no. So she's like, she thinks Florida is full of like killer alligators, and they're living among us.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why the gator is not on the bottle. You know, it may scare kids, basically.
It could be such a
like,
cute,
really hard to
friendly
sell.
mascot. That's so funny. I went to Uganda one time, and then everyone there was like, "Oh, hey, you're from Texas? Where's your giant belt buckle? Do you have Obama's signature? And where's your 10-gallon hat? And do you ride an alligator to school?" I'm like, okay, that's a fun perception.
Yeah, especially the alligator in Texas. I would think horse, but okay.
Yeah, they asked about an alligator. This is before I lived in Florida, and I was also confused.
when I was about to move to Sydney, I was like, I'm going to see kangaroos just like hopping about the city, like while I'm going around. Like, no, that's what people here think, you know? So I get the alligator thing. That makes sense. Okay. So you guys, that's Kenny, Diana, and Nathaniel. Those are my peeps. This is the squad. This is what Travel Nerds is made of. I'm really happy to have you guys here and then also to weave you into episodes later on. Everyone's going to get to know you better. But thanks for coming on. I super appreciate it.
If you book on, and I'm looking at it now. Ooh. I may need to go back and do this over again because I had it off the top of my head.
Editing.
I'll allow it.
Let me read this really quick and then we'll take out the dead air.
Allow it.
Oh my God.
Whoa. Okay.
We should start the episode from the top though.
Yeah.
100,000%. Yes.
Everybody look away and on the count of 3, look back. Who's
Really?
counting?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
You're counting, Connor Ann.
What? Oh, I just
you count to
turned
3.
away. Okay, you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Travel news.
I think we nailed
perfect. Are you ready? Kenny, do you know the day?
I do.
Okay, here we go. I'll never do that again. What's up, you guys?
it. Hi.
Hey.
Hi. All right, there's been so much going on lately, especially like with the holidays. Flights are going bananas. Let's talk about some travel news. Global, domestic, whatever you got. Kenny, go first.
Everyone loves a good beef. So we're going to go Google versus Expedia. So recently, Google came out and said and broke the popular notion that there is a best day to book flights. So some people say Tuesdays, some people say Sundays. Google basically came out and said there is no difference. So just book whenever you want. Both parties agree that you shouldn't book too close to travel. That's kind of obvious. But Google basically said, based on our data of years and years of selling airfare, there is really no best day to get the best price. Well, Expedia loves a fight and they love the drama. And they actually came in flying in from the top rope and said, Google, you're wrong. And Expedia said, based on our data, the best day to book is on Sunday. Travelers can actually save up to 15% if they book on Sundays. Being in the airline industry, I'm not totally sure I buy that. Expedia also said that if you fly in the AM, that you'll likely save money. I don't think that's generally disputed. And they also said the earlier you book, the more that you'll save. Now, this is a big caveat. Typically, we recommend that you book travel about 4 weeks out for domestic and 6 months out for international. They generally agree on that, but they do not agree on basically that there is a best day to book. And the backstory is Expedia and Google, there is no love lost between them because Expedia spends billions of dollars a year on Google search ads. And then what does Google do? They turn around and compete against one of their biggest customers. So this little online Twitter news article beef is enjoyable to watch go down. And I was wondering, what do you guys go by any kind of certain hard or fast rule when you're booking airfare? Do you do it on a day, a certain time? What do you guys do?
First of all, I don't I book flights when I remember that I need to book a flight. So
Perfect.
I'm the worst control group for like knowing if there's any difference. But there's 2 different approaches. If I know I need a bag, I love Southwest and I've always done Southwest. And with them, I've never really noticed. You can pick the early flight or the late flight, but those are always so close in price. You're basically, if you pick one of the terrible times, you're in the clear. But I have started always picking the earlier flight, even though I hate it a lot more because 1 or 2 times, especially with some of the staffing issues they've been having, if your evening flight gets delayed or canceled, there is a point where they will no longer be able to source a replacement pilot or airplane for you. And after that happened to me twice, I was like, we're not doing that. And mornings have been fine. So I do that. And Southwest is great because free bags.
Southwest is great.
Nathaniel just had the pro tip. If you have options, you should most definitely book in the morning, especially because of all the flight cancellations, all the crew and all the things that can happen. Booking the flight in the morning gives you the most options. Should something happen, you'll still get to your destination in general. And if you look on where that plane is coming from, the bonus tip is to book flights that go in the morning that the plane is going to be sitting there overnight. If you can ever get in that, because then you're almost guaranteed to go in the morning. Sometimes those planes are coming in on the red eye from Seattle to Orlando. But in general, if you can book first thing out in the morning, you will get to your destination. But like Nathaniel said, if you're like a 5-6 p.m. flight and anything happens, you're stuck.
You're toast.
You have to get your own
Now, I
hotel
will
and
say... For the budget airlines, I will say there is a superior budget airline, and in my mind, it's Allegiant. One, because they have a direct flight from Sanford to Harrisburg, which is super close to where I live and super close to where I'm always going in Pennsylvania. And I have had the least problems with understanding what I need to pay for, and I always do. It's $5 more to do a carry-on bag than a checked bag, but the bonus of dodging the entire process of checking a bag is absolutely worth $5, and if you can fit your stuff, I highly recommend it.
Okay, wait, so let's summarize this. So there is potentially a best day, and that day, according to Expedia, is...
Sunday.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
They also say that flights that depart on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday have been 12% cheaper than weekend departures.
Oh, there's no way.
That's just a lot. Where are they getting this data from?
Honestly, I think that to settle this and to move on, I think that you have to make your own decision. But part of the decision probably comes from who do you think does a better job with data, Google or Expedia?
Google.
Now, not to say that there's anything bad about Expedia, but I don't know. I just trust my guys at Google when it comes to big data a little bit more than Expedia. But we can put a pin in it and move on. Expedia
paying Google $4 to $6 billion in advertising just adds to their ability to collect better data. Moving on. Expedia pays Google to be smarter. Okay. I would love to hear your next little travel news segment. Diana, hit me.
All right. So it's spooky season, which is one of my favorite seasons, and I like spooky stories. I like anything to do with fall and autumn and cozy sweaters, and that is why I'm wearing a sweater. But for those of you listening, it does not matter that I'm wearing a sweater. All right. So my story is actually about the top 10 spooky places to travel, because more people like to say, oh, I'm going to go to Cancun. Wow. Okay, edit that out. Cancun, Miami, all the beautiful stops. But there's a couple of haunted, spooky places. You can go, and there's actually an Airbnb listing to even stay in the Paris catacombs, where the walls are lined with actual human skulls. Nice. And there's 6 million, I think it's 6 million different bodies and stuff like that in there. It's just nuts. And that's just only one place.
How much does that run a night? I want to know. Is it we will pay you if you make it through this? Or do you pay for that?
That was actually their first promotion. It was we will pay you to stay here. I don't think they're doing that anymore, but I think you can go on Airbnb and still look it up and stuff like that. I'll put it in the show notes.
You'd have to pay me $1 million.
Yeah.
I'd take $500,000.
Ooh. Right. How much would you take to stay there? 5,000? 50,000?
Just so many ghosts. Just so many real ghosts. You guys believe in ghosts?
No.
It depends on the day.
I feel the same way. I'm it depends on the last movie I watched.
Ooh, that's a good call. If you've seen It, you're starting to believe in a different kind of spirit.
Yeah.
You know how after you watch a movie, your personality is 30% affected by that last movie you watched?
I don't know if that's a
that.
statistic, but I believe it because you said it so confidently.
You know what? That's what podcasting is all about. Here I am saying BS with confidence. Is there anywhere else freaky, Diana, that we need to know about?
Yeah, there's actually kind of a cool ghost town I just found out about earlier today. It's located in northwest Turkey near the Black Sea, and it's just a row of 500 abandoned storybook castles that they built for rich people, but then the project, it just like stopped in 2019. And so they're like, we literally have a ghost town full of castles, many castles.
Oh.
That's kind of cool. I might be into that, actually. A castle
Yeah.
doesn't sound so bad.
That sounds like it could be a not so spooky place if I just tried hard enough.
If you tried hard enough, yeah. I think the last spooky place is the hotel in Banff, Canada, that it looks pretty much like the Stanley Kubrick Hotel.
The
Did you
Fairmont?
guys see there? I believe so, yeah. Oh, Kenny, you've been there, right?
I've so the Fairmont in back of it is one of the famous lakes, and it's a fantastic hike around. But it kind of looks like a borderline castle. It's very nice. It's huge too. It's the Fairmont Banff Springs, I believe.
Ooh, I would love to go to Banff. Oh my gosh. Like, does the water actually look like that in person?
Yeah, no filter. It looks like that. It's literally breathtaking.
No cap.
It's slightly less spooky now because you're like talking it up. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Sorry. No, it's very scary. There are ghosts everywhere. They're stealing all your shit. Do not go.
Don't recommend. Go on the hike, but don't sleep there.
Keep your eyes wide open.
Oh my gosh.
I'm looking on this list. You can stay in an unfinished water park in Vietnam. That sounds terrifying. This picture is horrifying.
That doesn't even have to be haunted. Just the concept of an unfinished water park in Vietnam scares me.
I don't get, like, where are you
I won't
sleeping?
go during
Like,
the day.
you sleeping like at the bottom of a slide? I don't get it. And then it says Old City Jail in Charleston, South Carolina. Staying in a jail? No thanks. I'm good. Well, actually, how many people can stay at a time? That could be fun. That could be a weird turn for like a bachelor trip or like a bachelorette trip.
A homemade escape
Stay
room.
in a haunted jail.
If you want to find out which side of middle class you fall on, will you pay to stay in a jail? I think that will answer it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think they should do, you know how like dating shows are so popular now? There's like F-Boy Island, Love is Blind, all of this.
Yeah.
They should just do it in an abandoned water park in Vietnam.
There we go.
In a city jail.
Ooh.
Yes.
What do you think?
I'm in.
Fall in love in the catacombs. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, that's what I was going to say is I would also like to see like a segment of like people traveling to places in like TV shows, like literally like, is there a real Schitt's Creek? Like, can I go visit? Stuff like that.
True.
Yeah. Airbnb did a fantastic marketing campaign during the Oscars on that. Highly recommend the search on YouTube. But basically, you can kind of stay anywhere that like famous TV shows. A quick Google search will probably get you like 50% of the way there. So a little bit of legwork and you will be there. Like my wife is obsessed with going to see the Tony Soprano house. I think it would be incredibly boring, but it's on her bucket list and we will probably end up doing it.
The house he lived in, like with the pool and the ducks and the whole thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh. I only watched the first 2 episodes of that, which is shameful. I need to get on that.
But you knew about the ducks.
Well, that's the first episode. He's like going to therapy and he's like watching these ducks. I'm like, what is happening? Yeah, I'll get into it eventually.
Do you know how much it costs for a pirate to get their ears pierced?
I would. Come on.
It's a bucket ears.
No. Oh!
Da-da.
There better be one of those jokes every single time we record these, or I'm quitting.
You got
Anna,
it.
yeah, that is your job. Like you throw in like the mom dad joke. I feel like that's perfect.
Mom, dad joke. I'm
Did you
on it.
guys hear about that actress that got stabbed? Reese,
Witherspoon?
no, with a knife.
Oh!
Not bad.
You fell for that
That
one
was
hard.
a good. Yeah, but it was almost like we had it planned, but we did not discuss that.
That was not discussed. That's probably my favorite one because it feels like it just popped in. It feels like it just came out of nowhere. Oh, did you guys hear?
Wow.
Anyone can steal that from me. I didn't come up with it, but I wish I did.
That's perfect.
Okay, Nathaniel, hit me with your travel news.
All right. Well, I've got something fun, and it's slightly selfish because, as some of you might have noticed, I like to work from as many places that aren't my home as possible. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. But there's some places now that are specifically trying to capture people like me that like to work from anywhere but where they're from. So Indonesia is getting in on this because, as you know, they've got Bali, which is a big tourist attraction, and it's driven them all the way to being the second largest economy in Southeast Asia, which I didn't know. But they are offering second home visas. So if you want a 5 or a 10-year visa and you make at least 2 billion rupee, which anyone want to guess what that converts to in US dollars?
Like 150, 150?
40,000.
200,000?
So, Connor, and you were the closest, $130,000.
Wow.
So, if you've got at least $130,000 in your bank account, they will give you a second home visa, and you can work for either 5 or 10 years from Bali. And it's they're not the first ones to do it. Costa Rica and Mexico have started, offering long-term stays to try and get professionals in, and then they spend their money. It's not a bad approach because, as anyone that has traveled to some of these exotic locations knows, most of the cost isn't getting there. And then once you're there, things are pretty affordable. So if you are looking for a nice beach to spend your days working from, Bali might be your choice in the near future. December, I believe, is when they are starting to issue these visas. So that's just my offer. If we want to record the next episode of this podcast in Bali, I wouldn't be opposed.
You're saying you have a lease for us?
Well, I'm saying I need someone to deposit $130,000 into my bank account, and then I can have the visa.
I was like, wait, there's one little hitch.
It's a business
That's
expense.
such a awesome incentive though for foreigners to just positively contribute to the Indonesian economy. That's great.
On a smaller scale, I know there's a lot of states in the U.S. that are also doing similar things, because not too long ago I was looking around, and I know there were a couple places in Virginia that offered if you stayed for a full year, you would get a $10,000 or a couple $1,000 stipend. There was a city that got pretty famous because they were offering everyone that moved a bike, a bicycle to get around, and a little cash incentive. So if you look, there's actually a website, and I didn't Google it ahead of time, but there's a website that will tell you where they will pay you to move. And I spent a lot of time on this website. Let's see if I can find it.
Is Orlando on there?
I don't believe so. I'm never going to find it this quickly.
Dang,
So I'm just
I'll
gonna
become a
have to-
cyclist.
I know. Man, I wish I remembered where this place was. But it was really slick. So if you are looking to move and you're completely unopinionated on where you land, I recommend looking for places that will actually pay you to move there. And it's top-notch.
Have you been? Has anyone ever been over there? It's a little Southeast Asian vacation or something?
Not yet. It's on the list.
Yeah, me either.
No for me.
It's a no from me. I would love that. Vietnam is high on my list. I love Vietnamese food, and every single time I ever see a video, it's just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I would love that.
That's awesome.
And it's so fiscally responsible vacation. You get back and you're like, wow, when I was actually there, I spent $150 and I lived like a king.
And if you can move and then also contribute to society and work from there, people will love you more. I know my family lived in the Keys for a while, and when people found out that he did a job and something useful, they were also thrilled because they're so used to people moving to the Keys and just
Doing nothing.
retiring and dying. and putting more strain on their resources and not adding anything. So if you go to a place like that and you are working and you're active in the area, then it's a big bonus. I couldn't think of a good word, so I went with bonus. But people will like you. The word for people will like you more.
I have never been to the Keys. I would love to go to the Keys.
Hosted group trip?
Yeah. Heyo.
Company offsite?
Yeah.
I mean,
There we go. From a fishing boat. Whoever catches the biggest fish gets to pick the next podcast name or something. I don't know.
No.
Or podcast
The
destination.
Yes, I was like the
Okay.
next destination. Because I got a really expensive destination on my mind right now.
And
So I hope
what is
I
that?
win.
What is that? Hit me with it.
Okay, you ready? Dubai.
Ooh. Nice.
Ooh, everyone's like, yeah. Ooh, luxury, opulence.
Don't they have like vending machines you can buy like gold bracelets and teeth
Yes.
or whatever from?
I
don't know.
think they have everything. I have a friend who is an NBA referee, and he just did some of the games there. And so he went, I think, a few days beforehand, did a bunch of the sites, and basically he said that the whole place is incredible. It's basically made of money. So everything is like the finest, best quality, top-notch thing that you can get. And he said that like the people were really friendly. He felt safer in Dubai than anywhere he's ever been in the United States, which is kind of insane. What does that say about the United States? And he said, yeah, like 10/10 recommend. It's a really, really good place. So we could put it on the list. I don't think it's as crazy airfare wise, at least getting there. You know, airfare is like 20-40% of the cost of the trip. And airfare wise, it's not as bad as you may think.
But a meeting room coated in gold is really going to run up the bill.
Yeah, we may have to go with coated in marble. Maybe we go for gold once we get a few more subscribers and make a little bit more money.
I'll settle for marble.
Marble's fine.
Yeah, you can ski in the mall there. There's 10 million people that live in the UAE, which is insane. That's wild. Think about that.
I heard that the police drive Lamborghinis. That's insane.
Swag. I'm like, sure, pull me over. You look so
Yeah.
cool.
Please take me to
They
jail as
never-
fast as you can.
I never get pulled over
Yeah.
because everyone's speeding like crazy and no one cares.
Can we go to jail fast? It's like,
The haunted jail?
If I wasn't worried about never coming back, I would 100% be down for that.
You're in the back of the police car like, woo! Just loving it.
Oh, man.
Everybody like, do this or something for Nathaniel. Marker.
Click.
This is the outro. This is the outro.
Kenny's.
This is the outro. That's just kidding. Okay. Thanks, you guys. I feel like I learned some stuff today, and I guess we're all moving to Dubai. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
cool.
Sounds like
Sure.
it.
I'll be a cop.
Sounds-
I will work from home.
sounds
as a
simple.
cop.
Diana's a cop. I love that. That was really crazy. Holy crap. Episode 1. One and done. If you guys want to hear anything specific, please let me know. I'm just going to keep pumping episodes out to you. I want you to learn all you can about how to make your lives more fun, how to make your lives easier. Every time I travel somewhere, I literally feel more alive when I get home. I'm like, God, that's living, you know? So thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week. Later, nerds.